age discrimination. When does it fall under that category versus good business? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41, old Gary Ostley's favorite spot on the internet.
That's such a serial killer name.
That's why he didn't keep it.
I'm assuming he's talking about somebody else because that's not how you fucking pronounce it. Anyway, what do you?
Wasn't that the Green River Killer?
It's O'Slay.
Oslay?
O'Slay, get it? O'Slay.
Oslay.
Yeah.
Oh, Slay, can you see?
No, you
can't because you're fucking dead.
Slay.
I just picked on you because you're the oldest man in the room. And that's age discrimination.
Fucking wisest, too.
I don't doubt it. After all, you belong to the Society of Secrets.
But according to Dungeons and Dragons, wisdom and intelligence are two different things.
Sure, yeah. They should be. Anyway, you got discriminated against?
No, not me. I'm young.
No, he's still a young buck.
He's like 24.
No, I read an article the other day about a female reporter who was 67 years old that was replaced in her workplace because they wanted younger talent and stated so. And she now says that she was discriminated against her age. She also threw sex in there, but that's not what I wanted to talk about today. I mean, you guys can if you want, but I want to talk about the age portion. And when is it okay, if ever, for a business to say we need younger talent to appeal to our audience? It's not age discrimination, it's marketing.
I think it's always okay, really. I mean, from a business standpoint.
So nobody in this room is going to side with the 67-year-old reporter that got fired because she's 67 years old?
I'm not a fan of seniors.
You know, was she falling asleep during her interviews, or
no?
It is. You know,
and she had a good career. She had won 2 Emmys. She's been promoted.
She's an on-camera reporter.
Yes.
Oh,
okay. Who was it?
Yeah. I don't remember the name. I didn't have any intention.
Do you remember
of calling her out specifically, other than this was the source for my contemplation?
So they literally told her, "You're getting somebody younger and prettier." Because I mean, let's.
Well, that's grounds for a lawsuit.
Is that what she's saying, or is that
that's
factual?
what she's saying? This is not a legal
She
court.
could have.
This is her side of the story.
Her side of the story.
Okay.
Has the
other side of the story come out with has it got a lot of press?
I read the article.
60 Minutes? Was she on 60 Minutes?
No.
Is she Dan Rather?
But it goes back to the question, is it ever okay for you to replace an employee for the purpose of business?
No.
But yet you can replace a basketball player for skill. You can replace...
Yeah, but that's a trade.
So isn't reporting.
No. I mean that they trade, like the teams trade players.
Yeah, but that player could go out of the game. Nothing says that the player that was in the game first is guaranteed a job, and yet they're traded all the time.
I don't know, sports.
They're not renewed.
Sports is a whole other beast.
It is.
And that's a contract.
And that's why I brought it up.
They sign a contract, it's for X amount of years.
But it's okay.
Yeah, but they've signed a contract, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've signed... If she had a contract, it would fall under the same as the sports players, where it's like you've got a 5-year contract. At the end of the 5 years, we don't have to renew it. That's all written down in the contract. Right. If she was hired, no contract, and like, okay, you have a job, and then all of a sudden they go, yeah, we're hiring Mary over here to take your job because she's more the demographic that
you can do that. You can do that at any time for any reason, as long as you give them either notice or severance.
Okay.
So, again, we don't know if she got notice or severance.
Yeah,
Let's assume that she did. Okay. She got notice and severance. So that fulfills the contractual obligation, but does it now fulfill the age discrimination, whether it is or isn't, because of that purpose?
I mean, technically it is age discrimination. Yeah. Technically, it is. And in a perfect world, we would hire and fire based solely on skill, right? Like,
but one of the skills is youth, is what I'm trying to say. Youth is
youth a skill?
It's a tangible thing.
It's a marketable property.
It's a tool.
It's a feature.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll go back.
Probably got the job because of youth
back in the day.
I'll give you an
27 years
example.
ago.
I'll give you an example of age discrimination in a workplace, in my opinion, although I have no issue with it because I got what the point was, and it's back to marketing. And not even marketing the people, but it's for how they understand something. Lady Gaga, when she first broke, her entire marketing team, tour team, street people, whatever you want to call them, that look after websites, public promotion, postering, graphic artists, everything. She had a rule: no one older than her.
Okay.
Because anyone older than her is going to try to dominate with a controlling interest.
Okay.
And they don't know, and I get this completely after running a business when I was younger that I would not do now. They don't know what works with the people that are the target audience.
So is that a legitimate reason?
But she didn't hire somebody and then let them go.
No.
She had a rule for her business,
Right up
which
front.
is what that is, to say, I want people at
But that's
this.
Ultimately,
that's
it's
still
the
age
same
discrimination. They're eliminating potential employees based solely on their age.
Yeah.
That is definition age discrimination.
I think her reasoning makes enough sense for me to let that one go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't use the same reasoning after years of service?
No, okay. If they followed all the letter of the law, which is gave her notice, gave her severance, so on and so forth, and we're moving in a different direction, yada, yada. If they did everything that they're required to do in order to terminate her position, age discrimination isn't a law. It's just an opinion at this point.
I think it is a law, isn't it?
Well, then she already has
The
a case.
Charter
We
of
got nothing to discuss.
Human rights.
It depends on what country you're in and what your contract stated.
If they checked all the boxes on how to properly let someone go, then they didn't do anything wrong. It is her opinion that they fired her or let her go because of age discrimination.
So let's take the legal side out of it.
Okay.
I'm asking for your opinion on whether that is right or wrong. That you would allow somebody to be hired or fired based on their age, even though it is a marketable asset.
I don't know. I think it all depends on the situation. Like, I don't think it can be done. I don't think it can be a black and white. You know what I mean?
Well,
do I think it's a shitty thing to do to somebody? Absolutely. If my boss came to me and said, listen, we found another sales guy, he's younger, he knows more about the technology we're going to be needing to
He brought his skateboard.
he skateboarded to work today, and he's already got
teach us how to hacky sack
he's
at
got
lunch.
5 more followers. No, young, not hippie. He's got 5 more followers on Twitter now for us. You know what I mean? And my first question would be like, well, you didn't hire me to do any of that. That was something I acquired as long as I'm, as well as doing my job of selling. Am I still selling? Well, yeah, you're selling fine, but we need, that would suck ass. But again, what are you going to do if they basically, they're not going to come out and tell you that. I question her saying,
right,
it
is her
I do
story.
not think she's telling everything.
Yeah.
I have seen
first. I highly doubt the company came out and said we're doing it because of your age, even though that's how she presented it.
It's her assumption. So
I don't know if this is firsthand. I have witnessed firsthand people being packaged off that are either family members working for another company or working at a company I worked at and being let go strictly because they were seen as a liability and they were doing a downsizing and it was a great opportunity to get rid of them. And the discussion that was had, one of the instances I was involved in, although I wasn't in favor of it, was, well, we can get rid of this, 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 and this because they're getting to that age where they can't be as productive and they're more of a liability in the production line or whatever. So we got to downsize by 6 people by attrition anyhow, so let's pick those people. Which I think is a real shit thing to do to someone that's that close to retirement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, does that not make good business sense to get rid of your liabilities?
Say, in that case, if you can't actually do the job, and that may be in her case, maybe she was losing a step or two, and they're like, listen, we've got news to sell. We don't have an extra 30 minutes because your hips.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
Shitty
That, or
sounds.
you're not making the 5 a.m. Meetings anymore, or
because you can't handle the hours.
You're not putting in 20 hours. Yeah.
So we need somebody that can handle it. There may be more to it, and in that case, again, yeah, it sucks. But if the actual reasoning for it makes sense, there's a lot of stuff in life that sucks. It sucks that we have to get older and can't do what we used to be able to do. You know, me on that bike course, I get up off one of those bikes, those Groms, and literally did one of the, and I thought, for fuck's sake.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
And there were guys older than me there, and most of them all younger. But you know, I'm watching the instructor hop on and off, and he's a decade older than I am. Guy.
My opinion has never flip-flopped so much in an episode. Like, whenever anyone talks, it's like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, yes, it has.
You know what I mean? That's
Calvin wants to speak.
Oh, Calvin.
not now. Fuck you. But no, seriously. If it's a case of like you can't physically do the job anymore because of age, I can understand that. But if it's a job that really age doesn't have anything that physically, and you are able to do every single step of that job, but they're just firing you because, well, you're 64 years old.
We need a younger voice.
In this case, it wouldn't be a physical attribute of the age, but yet a connection with the audience. Is that not relevant to you in your business room?
In
Does
that
that not
case,
apply?
it could be.
Would there be a difference if you voted for a candidate based on their age? Like if you voted for a younger candidate wanting a younger voice in office?
Yeah.
Well, again, in that kind of field, it comes down to ratings.
As long as he has nice hair.
You know,
Well, then I never
that
thought
could
about
have come
that.
down to it too.
They
You
may
have your
been
job if
losing-
you can pull a
losing ratings.
certain percentage of
And
viewers.
I think,
but when the
I don't-
ratings
I don't
start
know
to decline,
I like the broadcast news business, but you know what I mean. Like I think they've got to keep their ratings up
Absolutely.
Yeah.
so far, and if they're not getting the ratings, we got to do some shakeup.
Broadcast news has got to be hurting. Like
time.
it's got to be I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news in 20 years.
30 years ago, even 20 years ago, I could have told you who the head news anchor was for all the networks. Now,
No.
I couldn't name one.
Yeah, I get all mine
Average.
from Phil DeFranco. Quite literally.
Yeah.
Any news that I care about, I'll watch Philly D because it's edited down so far that it's just like drinking from the fire hose for 10 minutes. And I know everything I need to know that happened yesterday. I'm good. And between that and reading Google News and hitting all the headlines on all the websites, you find out everything. I mean, if you're more of a Twitter user than I am, or were at one point, you probably know about news before the broadcast networks even know about it.
A lot of time you see news happen live. Even on Reddit, you'll see news happen live. Like,
And sometimes you'll see news being made up.
yes. Or you'll see Boston Bombers just
Streaming it.
yeah.
The one thing I will say about the age discrimination that causes me some worry is the industry that we work in IT. I mean, I'm still somewhat applicable at this age, but if I don't make the transition into management, I'm scared that my career is limited the moment that I peak a certain age because of ability to learn. I mean,
How much?
Oh, sorry.
How much do you work with IPv6?
Right,
Is that
right.
something that's concerning?
Yeah, like any new technology that comes along, right? Like, I mean, if I'm not right on top of it, am I any longer an asset to what's... You know, but I'm the kind of person... I'm continually trying to learn stuff anyway, so I like it, but how long... I mean, I like to think that that's going to continue for the rest of my life, but I don't know if somewhere, because I've watched a lot of people older than me just stop, right? So is there a point
And
where
if you do like it, doesn't mean you're doing it as quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
So is there... I worry about the age discrimination factor, quite literally, when it comes to what I do for work. It actually does bother me.
I often think, am I going to get to a point where something's going to come out and I'm going to go, no, that's not a good idea. Like, am I going to get to the old man stage where all of a sudden something comes out and my kids and grandkids are using it? Like, I wouldn't use that. They're doing this to you. Like, I don't think so.
Did that happen with music at all yet in your life?
What do you mean?
Has it, our parents, when I started listening like Metallica or whatever, my mom's like, oh, that's just terrible. Has there ever been a music come along that you went, oh my God?
Anything that I have gone, that's not really my taste, is some stuff that James listens to, but it's not, most of what he listens to is older. He gets into a band and digs backwards, and he's listening to metal that's much, there's more screaming and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's
a taste thing, not a.
That's what it is. It's not, because. So
Skrillex, when Skrillex hit, what did you think?
I have Skrillex CDs.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't think you'll age the way that we think.
I love Bangarang.
Yeah.
And he got me into. Michael got me into. There was a guy. What was the name? It was all 8-bit based stuff.
Oh shoot! I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Not to be confused with 8-Bit, which is a song by Deadmau5.
Right.
Or as one of my coworkers called it, Deadmau5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, and he's younger than I am. Old enough that I could be his father, and I'm like, dude, it's Deadmau5. And he goes, no, I'm pretty sure it's Deadmau5. That's what so-and-so is doing. And I'm like, no, it's Deadmau5. It's Leets. Never mind, it's Deadmau5.
What is the topic that we're talking about
right now?
Age discrimination. And totally, I was just talking about somebody younger than me. I'm discriminating because he didn't.
When you put a limit on experience, it's interesting. I worked with a gentleman that he's no longer with us, God rest his soul. But when he hit the age of retirement, he did not retire. And it was funny because people would come into the store and they would look at him and go, Jesus, you're still here. And he goes, yeah, where else would I be? I mean, sit home on my ass and, do nothing, and
God, that's the dream, isn't it?
I wish, he was still working to this day, right? But, there was no decline.
Yeah.
In his ability to do the job or whatever. So I guess it's case by case basis.
Yeah. There's a topic in getting older. We'll talk about that another time. It sparks something and I'm like, nope.
Can you guys tell me what it's like?
We'll just wait for 5 or 6 years and you can tell us.
What's it like getting older?
Great.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Why is it great?
I'm in better shape than I was, 25 years ago.
Yeah, what does age have to do with that?
Experience.
You know what? You go through a portion of your life, a lot of us, where you go, I can drink what I want to, I can eat what I want to, everything's fine. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you go, geez, I got a little pudge there.
Oh, I hate myself.
I can't do that anymore.
But I'll be all right. And you keep on. And then you get to this age and you have a weight loss competition because you're like, God damn it, they're right. After 40, it is hard to get rid of this belly fat, so I really need to get on it. But that leads to what he just said. Damn, I didn't realize how bad I felt until I started getting rid of the weight, eating better, exercising. I'm like, oh shit, I felt like hell, but I didn't know it because it was a slow accumulation. So that would be part of the wisdom, correct?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, round table, age discrimination, is it an issue?
It can be, yes.
But it's case by case.
That for me it is. Yeah.
Flip flop. Where'd you end up?
Well, Brent spoke last. I don't know. I guess to put it.
Come back to him.
Yeah, come back to
me. Next episode.
I can see both sides of the story. Is it right to discriminate against somebody because of their age? No, but you're also dealing with...
Look, even Captain America had to hand off the fucking shield. Yeah. That old fuck. Anyway.
But yes, like...
Yeah, but you did it at, 150?
But you know what I mean? Like, it's...
He's got to get a faster bike, then.
Go on, dude.
It's wrong.
Okay. Wait, I'll do the Scott. Go ahead. You, Ryan?
I think it is an issue, but I think it's a necessary issue if you want business to continue operating at efficiency. You can't just assume that because you had a job that you get to keep your job.
Yeah, you gotta stay on top.
You gotta earn it. You gotta keep earning it.
Yeah, just because you're there 30 years.
So loyalty is not a thing then?
Loyalty is not a thing on either direction now.
Okay.
In corporate world, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's no loyalty.
There's no loyalty from the employees, and there's no loyalty from the companies.
Future episode. Ken, where do you sit on the age of discrimination?
Sylph, MILF, GILF, it's all good.
What the fuck is a sylph?